Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Ring of Red. Before I go any further in this video, I'm going to recommend that if you decide to play this game, you should go back to Mission 1. I didn't know about this until last night, pretty late last night actually. You should go back to Mission 1 and you should lose to Ryoko. I'll explain why very shortly, but basically there is something in this game that you cannot get if you don't lose that fight. There's no penalty to losing the fight. You get the same XP you get for win. Well, yeah, you get the same XP you get for winning. So yeah, go back, lose to Ryoko. Dialogue is a little more amusing, a lot more satisfying, and you get rewarded for it. Like I said, I didn't know about that before. I'd never lost to her before. Go back, lose to her, good stuff happens. I'm going to put an annotation for that in the first video. All right, let's move on to Mission 3. Pilot's Mess Tent. So, this place got the atom bomb too. Correct. But it's not likely to happen again, given the current restrictions in the region. You mean Rossini? Yes, the world's first nuclear payload was delivered by an aircraft. When the full effects of the weapon became known, after World War II, the ban on aircraft use in the Far East came into existence. Now referred to as the Revised Air Combat Initiative, or Rossini. As a result, no aircraft can ever take off from or fly over the entire Far East region. Nuclear weapons are almost impossible to use except as an airborne payload. They didn't have, intercontinental missiles and whatnot at the time. Does that really mean the end to nuclear weapons? Violating the agreement would mean taking on the entire international community. I doubt any one nation is prepared to do that. So they say. Yeah, I guess it depends on the arrogance of the people involved. Kukujuri. What a wasteland. No sign of human habitation. The Kukujuri Beach is a no-access zone. It saw more combat than any other area. And this is the result. It looks like another planet. Only an AFW can move around these craters. It was a landing spot for American troops at one point, and was a heavy combat during the Greater Asian War. Most of what you see here is the aftermath of the Americans' Coronet project. I remember. No offense, John. We all left behind a Kukujuri in different parts of the world. Hey, no offense taken. You read too much into these things, man. Victory condition, annihilation of all enemies. Loss condition, destruction of Weissinger's AFW, or going over the day 5 7-hour time limit. That time limit is a complete joke. Like, you gotta be doing something seriously wrong to be taking more than, 3 days in this mission. Mission start. Alright, we're gonna get a tutorial from Rodriguez here. We're gonna go ahead, not pay any attention, I'm smash through. Basically, he's telling you about cities. If the city's not your color, an enemy recovers on it, the city gets taken over by the enemy. There are sometimes troops hidden inside these villages. I'll get to that in a minute. But if they recover in a city that has troops, the troops are permanently gone. And if you end your turn, or if you start your turn on a village, your troops all receive a round of healing as though you had used the recover command, but you don't actually have to use the command, so it helps you keep your stuff nice and healed up. The team leader, unconfirmed squadron heading this way. Alright, all units, spread out and be ready to engage. We'll pursue Type 3 after we deal with this bunch. Okay. Whatever you say. Alright, so a little bit about troop acquisition really quick. So, you can see the star here. This indicates we get 1 troop for it. There are 3 ways you're going to acquire troops in this game. One is by completing missions. If you do it faster, under a certain time threshold. It's not listed anywhere what that time threshold is, but it varies stage per stage. Rodriguez will give you some bonus units. You'll get a unit, usually 1, no matter what, for finishing the stage. Each city has a chance, if they have the star, like you can see that one's got 1, this one does, these 2 don't. You'll get a unit, 1 unit if it's a little star, 2 units if it's a big star. And each mission, starting from 3 on, has a special, side. Well, it's not even necessarily a side, but it has a special condition that, if fulfilled, will give you a green unit. They are, generally speaking, the best units in the game. And the reason we wanted to lose to Ryoko, and and went back. Well, I went back and did so between recordings. The only way to get the 1 in this stage is to have lost to her in the previous stage, in the first stage. And you will be awarded the, what are they called, the Yamada unit for this stage. Which we'll see at the end. Interestingly enough, we're probably not going to use it. An unfamiliar looking AFW. What did those government fools start now? So this is what we want. If you recall from last episode, I broke my units into specialized roles. So we always want Kinosato to open a fight with a unit, because we're going to use him to kill off their ground troops. We're going to get bonus XP, we're going to cripple their offensive abilities. Good stuff. And this is a short-range unit, so it decided to run right up to us. And we should have a minute here. So I didn't really let it sit there, but those messages that just popped up at the bottom were my troops announcing they were prepared to use their forward skills. So we're going to move them up, and we are going to shoot at their ground troops. Another thing to note is that I very rarely bother with accuracy against ground troops. I usually just click and fire right away, because accuracy does very little to determine if you hit a ground troop. Accuracy, in the case of ground troops, determines damage. So I don't find that the trade-off for the damage you gain for the time you spend aiming is really all that great. I mean, you'll see it later on at night, especially with Ryoko in this mission, that I'll start at like 20 accuracy, and if I go up to 40 accuracy, I gain like 15 damage maybe on a good day. It's not worth it. It's better just blind fire right out, just shoot them. Especially if you're like Kinosato up close and you have 60% accuracy out the door. So we're just mowing people down. Now I don't want to shoot again. I want to wait until I get... And we caught that one. I want to wait till I get the message from my troops that I'm going to move them forward again. Because if I shoot again, those enemies are low enough that they're going to retreat. They're probably going to pull... yeah, they're pulling back their medic unit right now. I'm going to go ahead and take aim at the enemy AFW here. This is, of course, our forward skill going off again. I believe I mentioned it previously, but your forward guard skills charge whenever you move to the rear guard. So we still have focus fire stocked up. And that will trigger automatically as soon as he sends his medic units forward if he decides to. He might not decide to move them forward again. Now we get a leg hit. That impairs mobility and dodge rate. Good stuff. But it's not broken, so they can still dodge, it's just impaired. And we are hoping for him to move those guys forward. There we go. That's the medics forward. As a player, you would never do this. As the AI, you don't think. So, you do stuff like this. Very convenient for us. Alright, so that gave us our full XP off of this. We could also destroy the enemy AFW, get more XP. But I'm planning to, as I specialize these AFWs, I am planning to... Wow, good weapon hit. I'm planning to let John pick up the kill. He'll be the one picking up AFW kills. K-Dog, as we're going to call Kinosato from now on. He's going to be focusing exclusively on troop kills if possible. And we're just going to walk out of the battle now. We took almost no damage. We slaughtered his troops. Early on, the enemies are not very strong. It gets much... Well, they get much better as time goes on. Their stats get better, like... We'll have levels on them, so we'll still be better overall, as long as we're actually using people. But... This mission is horribly one-sided. I mean, even though you're outnumbered pretty significantly, I almost think the ratio is 2 to 1 overall. but... Okay, we're going to move way up here. There's stuff to the north, and we're breaking into 2 units here. And Ryoko is going to be our other anti-personnel character for this mission. So we did want her at point. She is taking a hit for us, and she is softening up these ground troops. Now, she is nowhere near as good as Kinosato is for killing ground troops, but we did give her a crewman with Shrapnel. Shrapnel is a special skill, special shell usable for mid-range and outs, which is why we're waiting till we're at mid right now. Move our units forward. And it deals damage to both vanguard positions. It deals decent damage to both vanguard positions, I should about to say. It has limited uses, though. We only have 2 with this troop. Oh, did he only send 1 person forward? No, he sent both forward, okay. And normally you want to kind of conserve shells a little bit. You don't want to just blow them all at once, but in this case we actually are going to blow both in this first fight. The remaining encounters we're going to have on this stage are going to be at night. With this top unit anyway, this top pair. So we're going to have to be running the unit with illumination shot. We're not really going to get any benefit out of conserving our shrapnel, because we would have to ditch the illumination shot. We want to move that sniper back to recharge his forward skill. And I'm going to go ahead and shoot our second shrapnel round off. Really, the name of the game early on is balancing out XP. Much like the majority of the Fire Emblem titles, there's no way to grind, really. No practical way. There's no arena. You can use that in most Fire Emblem games, but there's nothing like that here. XP is completely limited to the enemies that show up on the map, and farming XP is pretty rough. So you want to maximize it, which is why we're... Ah, oh, damn, they pulled back. Which is why we're doing what we're doing and splitting up. Focus. Alright. We need to get our sniper forward. Charge that grenade. What I don't like is that this unit... I don't know if it's the skill or if it's just this unit, but they take quite a while to charge snipe. Actually, you know what? I don't need grenade. Let's go ahead. Get this guy forward again. We're not going to take a shot at the enemy AFW. If you look at our health bar, we have that little yellow bit on the end. That is our shield. So this is going to reduce the damage we take, even if he hits us, until it's destroyed. So we're not really worried about catching fire. Not yet. What we really want is for him to move that infantry unit forward. Might not do it. Got snipe up again. I really hope he does. Just not gonna have enough time to get another snipe off. And this snipe isn't gonna do enough damage to kill. That's too bad. So we missed out on a little bit of XP this fight. Yep. They barely held on, but they held on. I love that sometimes the enemy also just kind of throws out the troop at the last second so you can't aim at it. It's like, look what I got. Oh wow, we're at 15 minutes. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here. Thank you for watching. We'll continue Mission 3 in the next episode.